So did Bob Huggins try to ruin Oscar Tshiebwe's life when he left West Virginia? Or is Oscar Tshiebwe just making crap up for attention? Stay tuned, you'll get my opinion. What is up, college sports fans, fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Coos, and I'm coming to you from the hills of wild and wonderful West Virginia. And this is Coos' Corner. If you haven't yet, please hit that red subscribe button. Please give me the thumbs up. Please share this with your college sports loving friends, as I try to do a college sports video almost every day, or at least several videos a week. Notification bell to be notified of future videos that I might put out. Let's get on with the show. Ethan Bock from West Virginia Sports Now put out an article today, Friday, December the 17th, that says Oscar Tshiebwe apparently told a reporter for The Athletic that Bob Huggins tried to ruin his life. That Bob Huggins spread rumors about him to John Calipari at Kentucky and to the NBA, that Oscar Tshiebwe was caught smoking weed, and that Oscar Tshiebwe always had women in his room, and all kinds of other stuff. Now I'm going to read you the quote exactly from the article. Instead of trying to paraphrase it, I'm just going to tell you what he said. This is Oscar Tshiebwe, and I quote, "God heard my cry for help, and he said, get your stuff. It was a tough decision. People say you're ruining your life. People say if you make that decision. Coach Huggins told me he was going to ruin my life if I did that. He was going to say all these different things to NBA GMs so they would never want me. He said a lot of negative things about me to Coach Calipari. I got caught smoking weed. He said I got caught with a lot of different women, stuff I didn't know about." Now, Huggins' response to this, and another thing Tshiebwe said too, I don't want to leave this out. When there's something in your heart that you're holding and you can't let it go, I did not want to put that West Virginia jersey on, Tshiebwe said. Now, when Huggins was asked about this, here's his response in this article. "I don't know why Oscar would ever bring up something that didn't happen. The truth of the matter is there's a whole lot of people who could get drugged through the mud. He got what he wanted. I never tried and called him and said, hey man, you're making a mistake. None of that. I did not speak up to the kid. I can take a lie detector." And then today, in Huggins' press conference, in preview of the UAB game coming up this weekend, they asked Huggins, the West Virginia media asked Huggins about it again, and he said basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, he said, "I didn't even talk to Oscar." He said after the game was over, the last game he played was over, he left, and I never even spoke to him. So, he said, I don't know how I could have said that stuff if I didn't speak to him. So here's my thoughts on this. Number one, West Virginia has been Bob Huggins has been a head coach for 40 years, ballpark. Bob Huggins is not the type of coach that is going to beg a kid or try to spread rumors about a kid to get him to stay. If you don't want to be on the team, Huggins don't want you on the team. He's the type of guy that will basically tell you, don't let the door hit you in the butt when you walk out the door. That's who Huggins is. Huggins doesn't want a guy that doesn't want to be here. That's just his mentality. These speculations about Huggins are so far from Bob Huggins' personality and who he is as a man, it makes me want to vomit. I just don't understand why in the world Oscar Tshiebwe would want to feel the need to spread these rumors about Huggins. He probably don't like Huggins. I get it. I understand that. But why in the world would he say these things? Is he doing it just for attention? Is somebody at the Athletic or some other place paying him to say these things? I don't get it. I know he wasn't happy at West Virginia, and that's why he left. That's fine. He has a right to do that. But why run Huggins' name through the mud to do that? And not only that, Oscar, if you're listening, think about this. This is you may still have some friendships with some guys on this West Virginia team. I know some of them took up for you when you left, and their fan base was bashing you. Some of your former West Virginia teammates was taking up for you. And by you going out and starting this mess, and by putting all this crap in the media, it's affecting those guys too. Because this can be a distraction for them in their season. So why would you want to do that to your teammates, the ones that are still here playing? Why would you want to do that to them? I don't get it, Oscar. It's very immature of you to do this. And even if these things happened, why even bother with it? You're at Kentucky now. You're playing for Calipari. You're doing well. You're probably arguably the best player on that team, one of the best in the country. You're averaging a double-double. Life's good for you right now. Why in the world would you want to stir up a hornet's nest with all this mess? And as someone who's obviously a West Virginia fan and has followed Bob Huggins, there is no way, shape, form, fashion, as our wonderful governor would say, that he would do this, in my opinion. Now, look, if it comes out that he actually did this, I'll come on here and I'll tell you I was wrong. But I just don't see it. That's not Bob Huggins' style. That's not who he is. And I think he even said this today in the media session, that that's not who I am. And everybody here knows me, knows that's not who I am. That's just not Huggins' style. He had no reason to do that. And if he did say that stuff about Tshiebwe, then it was probably true, to be honest. But I don't know, man. This is extremely disappointing that Oscar would do this. And if by some long shot Huggins did do it, and it's not true, then shame on him. But guys, I'm telling you, I just don't see it. Bob Huggins' former players love the man. Some of them, Kenyon Martin, for example. You ask Kenyon Martin about Bob Huggins. Kenyon Martin has said multiple times Bob Huggins is the best coach he ever played for in his entire life, including the NBA. He said Bob Huggins was like a father to him. Kenyon Martin, now I've heard this, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard this, that Kenyon, when Cincinnati basically pushed Bob Huggins out, forced him to leave, he told him to take his jersey down from the rafters because he didn't want it hanging up there anymore because of the way they treated Hugs. So, I mean, wow, if Huggins was the type of guy that would do something like this, you think he would be that respected by his former players? I just don't see it. And Huggins has coached for 40 years. Somebody at some point would have, if this is the type of guy he was, somebody at some point would have come out and said something like this before. Other than some guy who was disgruntled for whatever reason, the reports out there saying he was lazy, didn't want to work in the off season, didn't want to put in the time and the work needed. And he obviously wasn't happy at West Virginia, probably because Huggins was going to force him to work, put in more work than he wanted to. And he probably didn't want to share the spotlight with Eric Culver. Who knows the reason? But whatever it was, just shut up, Oscar. Quit complaining. Quit being a baby. Play basketball. And leave this crap behind you, man. Why do you... It just doesn't make sense to me why he even has to bring it up. I don't get it. Anyway, let me know in the comments section. And if there's any Kentucky fans watching, if John Calipari has said anything, I've not seen anything in the media that Calipari's had any comments on this or even been asked about it. If there's something that comes up that I didn't mention here or something that has come up that I've missed, let me know. I'd love, and this is another concern I have. John Calipari and Bob Huggins have been like best friends for years, and I'd really hope that this situation, and I don't, maybe their relationship has already been ruffled a little bit because of Tshiebwe leaving and going to Kentucky. But if there's any relationship left at all, this could ruin it right here. I'll be interested to see if Calipari has anything to say at all about it. It'd probably walk on a thin line for him because I'm sure he wouldn't want to throw his best friend under the bus, but at the same time, he probably doesn't want to throw his best player under the bus either. So, be interesting to see how this unfolds. I trust Bob Huggins. I know I'm biased here because I'm a West Virginia fan, and Bob Huggins is like a hero in our state, so I am biased, I'll admit that. But I just don't think this is Bob Huggins' style. I don't believe this story at all that's coming out from Oscar Tshiebwe. And if it's not, shame on him for putting it in the media and telling a blatant lie. That's all I got to say. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you actually believe this about Huggins? Or do you believe Huggins? Do you believe Huggins is telling the truth? Which guy do you believe in this story? And like I said, if you're a Kentucky fan, let me know what you think. Let me know what you've heard. For more college basketball content, check this out right here. I appreciate you tuning in. Until next time.